Hello, and welcome to this presentation on Preparing Technicians for the Future of Work, a project funded by the National Science Foundation's Advanced Technological Education Program. Preparing Technicians for the Future of Work is facilitating cross-sector dialogues between community colleges and industry on the new fundamentals of technician education. By acting on input from educators, employers, and economic development professionals about the adoption of advanced technologies and the associated new knowledge and skills needed to use them, the project team is developing recommendations for addressing these topics and others as identified without the overburdening of college technical programs. I'm Anne-Claire Anderson. I'm with the Center for Occupational Research and Development, and I'm the principal investigator for this project. These are my colleagues, Hope Kottner, Richard Gilbert, and Mike Lasecki, the co-PIs, Marilyn Barger, special advisor to the project, and Liz Myrick, project manager. Our external evaluator is Debbie Hecht, and our NSF ATE lead program officer is Celeste Carter. By now, we all realize that we are living in interesting times. But even before COVID struck, we recognize that the pace at which society and technology are changing is accelerating like never before, and we have to keep up so that our students will thrive in the new economy. Today's technicians are cross-disciplinary workers, immersed in diverse platforms and interrelated systems that once belonged to single industry sectors. While demand for positions involving tasks that can be automated is declining, new occupations are emerging. The skilled technical workforce sits at the center of this disruption. As a project, we are focused on transforming two-year technical programs in ways that ensure graduates are prepared not just for today's jobs, but for tomorrow's. We are just starting year 3 of the project's work. But by the end of year 4, we will have identified new technologies and cross-cutting skills that are important to industry and thus to technicians and technician education. We will also have developed recommendations for integrating those skills into STEM technical programs and will have offered professional development to facilitate that happening. So, overall, what's our job? It's essentially to predict the future. This slide recaps the content of the previous slides so that you can actually read the list of a few of the technologies under the banner of Industry 4.0, the fourth industrial revolution, as evidenced by the digital transformation of manufacturing and production industries. Industry 4.0 means that smart machines are getting smarter, and production, assembly, monitoring, and maintenance in a wide variety of industrial settings are becoming more efficient. How does this change a technician's role? The transformation of the workplace means that in the very near future, America's technicians will need to navigate and troubleshoot processes involving artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, cybersecurity procedures, advanced robotics, digital design and prototyping, and the way in which these and other advanced technologies interact within horizontally and vertically integrated systems. As we think about technologies and technicians of the future, here are a couple of things to keep in mind. Technology eliminates job categories, not work, and technology is transformational. Contrary to popular belief, work is not going away. Will there still be jobs at the manufacturing plant? Yes. Will technicians still need to know how to use data and provide customer service? Yes, but remember, technology is transformational. There will be work, but the old jobs will have gone away and new jobs will have emerged. Do you notice any trends in this slide about jobs of the future? I think this data from the World Economic Forum adds one more source to our project's collection of information about cross-cutting technical skills for all STEM technicians. Technicians will need to be comfortable and confident working with data and digital tools. This brings us to our project activities, activities that support our growing understanding of what the transforming workplace looks like and how technical programs will need to adjust in order to keep pace with the changes. I'll describe a few of our activities, starting with our industry site visits. These help us understand how companies and employers are approaching the future. Where are they in technology adoption? What skills do they value in new hires? The on-site interviews our team conducts gives us insight on how technicians and their supervisors are reacting to new technologies. Are there skills technicians wished they had? New skills that they had to learn, or old skills put to use in a new way? Questions like those. First, we visited the Bluegrass Community and Technical College's apprenticeship program, which feeds directly into the Toyota Motor Manufacturing Technician Pool through a highly structured training program. Next, we visited the Emerson Incinerator plant in Racine, Wisconsin, and also the BRP Evinrude plant in Racine, Wisconsin. We finished our Wisconsin site visits at the Bradshaw Medical Plant in Kenosha. We have also had the good fortune to be able to tour the Wake Forest Institute for Regenerative Medicine in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We learned something at all of these sites, and I'd like to share some of our findings with you. So here are a few observations on the future of work from our site visits. More robots and more cobots with more functionality, which means they're more complicated and more connected, are being installed everywhere. Most technicians need to know more about digital communication protocols because of those connections between equipment. More connected and automated robots and machines means more challenging troubleshooting situations. Continuing with more observations from our site visits, across all the operators and technicians, strong fundamentals in math, science, and technology are key to understanding the new equipment and processes. Employability skills, sometimes called soft skills, interpersonal skills, necessary skills, are still extremely important, maybe even more so today than they have been in the past. Business knowledge is minimally expected of technicians and advanced operators. And finally, cybersecurity, with the exception of general behavioral awareness, not using your cell phone on the floor, not plugging a foreign thumb drive into a machine, is not a concern for technicians and advanced operators. It is still somewhat the purview of the IT department. Industry 4.0 is being implemented cautiously, almost one sensor at a time. I also thought you'd like to hear what some of our interview subjects had to say, like this technician who shared that nothing has changed, except the tool set and the speed of response to technology changes, which sounds like a lot of change, actually. And this from a technician supervisor. On the technician side, there's less call for PLCs, but the ones that are needed are much more complex, with a lot of integration and function block programming. Technicians need to be able to follow multi-machine integration. There are fewer problems with the new PLCs, but the problems are more significant when something happens. And this from another technician supervisor. One of our core operating principles is making minor and major decisions based on factual information. We already push a great deal more data down to the floor level to make it both visible and actionable by floor level employees. We anticipate the reliance on data for worker actions to continue to increase in the future. And almost echoing what our technician said a minute ago, the middle manager says, we're constantly installing new equipment. With new lines comes new technology, new robotics, different, more, better communication systems. New technology is a constant. Considering all that, are there specific knowledge and skill areas that will help future-proof STEM technicians? I hesitate to use the words future-proof, but that is, after all, what we're trying to do. Identify skills that will carry graduates into a secure future of work. And here's what we found those skill areas to be: data knowledge and analysis, advanced digital literacy, and business knowledge and processes. These and the 14 or so subtopics within each, listed in your handout, are what might be called the new foundational skills for technicians. Not that electronics and skills with traditional tools and communication skills are not important. They are still highly valued by employers. So within these new foundational skills, what do STEM technicians need to know and be able to do? In the skill area of data knowledge and analysis, technicians need to be able to manipulate, interpret, compare, contrast, merge, and operate on data to resolve issues and problems and use Excel and other common software proficiently to accomplish tasks. So here's the list of skills and knowledge that, having worked with subject matter experts and our industry advisory board, we think are the new data use foundations for all STEM technicians. Your handout has the definitions for each. You'll notice that some of the items have an asterisk. Those are the topics prioritized by industry. In the skill area of advanced digital literacy, technicians need to understand digital communications and networking, the cloud interface, cybersecurity, machine learning, sensors, programming, and human-machine interfaces at a higher than introductory level. Here are the essential advanced digital literacy knowledge and skills for all STEM technicians, again with an asterisk by topics of higher priority to business. Remember that cross-cutting means that all STEM technicians, regardless of discipline, need some knowledge of these topics. In the skill area of business knowledge and processes, technicians need to understand an enterprise, its value chain, and its business practices. Business knowledge includes work performance skills, as well as understanding the ethics surrounding the use of new technologies. Because technician jobs generally exist in the context of a business, here are the essential business skills and knowledge they need to function successfully in that environment. Why are these three skill sets critical? In the 2017 report, Jobs Gained, Workforce Transitions in a Time of Automation, the McKinsey Global Institute answers the question by explaining that a core benefit of foundational skills is the capacity to adapt. Having a broader skill base isn't simply about meeting the needs of today's jobs. Rather, these skills equip job seekers and incumbent employees for the future, enabling them to navigate a dynamic landscape of accelerating change, job losses, job changes, and job creation. Recognizing this, as a project, we have to ask, what is our way forward? Which brings us to another project activity, regional convenings of educators and industry. We held our first regional convening in November in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, in partnership with Forsyth Technical Community College. Convenings offer an opportunity for employers and educators to identify the skills and knowledge the technician workforce will need in the coming decade. We had participation from a broad range of stakeholders. Participants in a regional convening attend presentations exploring the future of work globally, nationally, and regionally, as well as presentations on the three new foundational skill sets. These are interspersed with multidiscipline, multi-sector discussion sessions addressing the relevance and need for specific skills in the region. With the onset of COVID travel and gathering restrictions, we are moving the convenings to a virtual format, this time in partnership with San Jacinto College in the Gulf Coast region of Texas. The project follows the convenings by nurturing regional networks on the future of work. Networks that continue the conversation and identify specific technical assistance and professional development needs that could be met by the project. If you are part of a community college technical program or community college employer partner, you are eligible to participate in or even host a convening. So please let me know if you are interested. My email is anderson@cord.org. I'd be remiss if I didn't point you towards some resources that may be even more immediately useful to you. Our podcasts on a variety of technician and new technology topics. Listen on the website playlist or subscribe using Apple or Google podcast feeds. We also have blog posts. Our blog posts are written by our board of contributors. Please let me know if there are specific technician education topics you would like for us to explore. Also coming this year are instructional resources addressing topics within our Big Three: advanced digital literacy, data knowledge and analysis, and business knowledge and processes. Each lesson is designed to provide familiarity with topics all STEM technicians need to know in a convenient one-class period package. You'll find these under the website's Resources tab. We would love to hear your comments and recommendations on them, so please stay in touch. Speaking of staying in touch, you can sign up for our project newsletter, which comes out monthly, and follow us on social media. Click on the Contact Us tab on the website. With that said, thank you for listening, and please feel free to add your voice to the Future of Work conversation. What changes in career and technical education do you think will be prompted by future of work-driven issues? You can reach the project through the website preparingtechnicians.org or contact me directly at my email address. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.